Good morning. Welcome to Monday Messages. Wow, this is a very special day for me. This is an anniversary of the day of my new life. I should not be alive right now, if I'm going to be honest. But by God's grace and mercy, I was granted the gift of desperation 23 years ago. And I finally decided, you know what, I need to make a change because alcohol is killing me. It's destroying my life. And if I don't do something about it, I I won't have a life. And as much as I was at a turning point where I didn't know how to live with alcohol. I definitely didn't know how to live without alcohol. And it was a scary day in my life that day because I had reached a point in my life literally where I was they call it a pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization. That's where I was. And I remember wanting to kill myself, but being too afraid to die, too afraid to do it. When I actually started thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that sounds a little painful. Maybe we'll try some other stuff first. See, hopefully that works. And it in 23 years later, I can tell you what I decided when I made that decision to try another uh, thing, which was a 12-step program. I It did change my life, and I sit here 23 years later with life beyond my wildest imagination. So I'd like to just kind of celebrate that with you today, share that with you today, because it's a big day for me. Um, the great irony back then was, as I literally was at the lowest point I've ever had in my life. I had to still get up and entertain the masses at Nickelodeon that day. And I was dumping slime, throwing pies, jumping around, yay, having fun. But boy, that was the act of my life that day. Because in the middle of the shows, I would just go to the car and just bawl, cry, 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 cry. Oh my God. And it was a really surreal thing. It was in Rochester, New York, and it was on a racetrack in the middle of like nowhere. There was this racetrack, and we were performing this show, and I was at my lowest point. And I remember 3 years later, I was beating myself up pretty hard. I was like, you know what? You can't do this thing. What are you doing? You'll never get this thing. Why are you even trying? You might as well just start drinking again. And I ended up on my anniversary on another Nickelodeon trip. And as I'm out there performing, I'm looking around and I'm saying, this looks familiar. This looks really familiar. And as I looked, I was like, oh my God, that's the racetrack. Holy mackerel, I'm at the place I was 3 years ago. And it was God's gift to me to show me how far I had actually come because I came pretty far. It was I realized I wasn't the same place I was 3 years ago. I was alive. I was doing better. Wasn't 100% thriving, but it was still, I was still in early sobriety. And it was an amazing moment to realize that God had given me a snapshot saying, yeah, you're further than you think. Keep going. Keep going. You're not done yet. And so I kept going. Um, I'd like to, I thought about what I would do for my message today. I want to give a message to 23 years later, to that scared, broken woman, didn't know what to do with her life at the time, didn't know where she was going, how she was going to survive, but she knew she needed to make some changes. I want to give a message 23 years later. If I could give a message to that poor, broken girl crying in the car, this is the message I want to give to her. You know what? As broken and beat down and dead as you feel inside right now, It's a good thing, believe it or not. It's a good thing because this is going to catapult you into this new amazing life, which you would never even imagine. Yeah, you're young, you're 28, and it seems like life is over, and you sure can't imagine doing life without alcohol. How are you going to go out with your friends? What are you going to do when you do your stand up comedy? How's that going to go? What are you going to do when you go on these Nickelodeon shows when everybody else is drinking? How's that going to happen? How are you going to live this new life? Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're going to go home and you're going to hook up with other people who found a way out, and they're going to be your guiding light. You're going to meet this woman who's going to give you a hug, biggest, longest hug the first day you meet her, and it's going to save your life because you're going to know that you're not alone anymore. And you're going to know there's others out there like you who have found a way out, and you're going to be surrounded by them, and they're going to hold you up and they're going to lift you up and they're going to carry you through. Now, some of the things they're going to say to you are going to seem a little weird, but you have to be broken enough that you are right now to be able to listen to them. And whatever they tell you to do, do it. Just do it and have faith that it's going to bring you right where you need to go. Whatever they tell you to do. Just don't drink today, though. All you have to do is just keep it as simple as you can. Don't drink today. Live in the now. Tomorrow is going to work itself out how it's supposed to work itself out. Focus on today. You're going to have this amazing new relationship with God that you would have never imagined. You think you've got it together now, but you just wait. And you know how you're worried about ever finding a husband and having a kid, what you really want to do? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to have the most amazing husband and the most beautiful boy, and you're going to live the most amazing life, a life that you never dreamed you would ever be able to live, and you truthfully wouldn't be able to live without this new start. Now, when you're 9 months in, it's going to get a little tricky because you're going to think that you know it all and you've got this. And that woman who gave you the hug is going to tell you, not so fast. Take it easy, slow down. You're still new, but you're going to fall victim to another addiction, uh, love addiction. You're going to fall for somebody who you're going to label as love, but it's anything but love. It's going to be your addiction's going to transfer over. And just like people won't understand when you were why you couldn't put the bottle down when you were drinking, they won't understand why you won't be able to leave this guy who treats you so bad and verbally abuses you. And you won't understand until you go through what you have to go through. And once you find your way out, you will. It's going to be a dark, scary day because it'll start off small, little things, nitpicking. Your hair smells bad. What are you wearing? Why are you doing that? Why did you say that? That's stupid. You're stupid. And it's gonna chip away at your self-esteem, and you're not gonna know what. Before you know it, you're gonna be dependent on this person for to be your higher power, and they're not qualified to be your higher power. They're sick and they need help, but you can't help them. You can't rescue them as much as you may want to and think you can. You can't, and it's not love. It is you're just as sick as he is at this point. So just like you had to get sober from the bottle, you need to get sober from the guy, and you will. It's going to be scary because he's gonna cheat on you. He's going to manipulate. He's going to try and control you any way he can. But you'll find your way out. You cut him off just like you cut off the bottle, and you focus on yourself and focus rebuilding that relationship with God. And then the clouds are going to part, and you're going to see this amazing life emerge. And you're going to find this inner peace that you never knew possible, that you never dreamed you could have. It's going to be there. And once you find it, It's going to catapult you to the fourth dimension like they talk about. You'll get there. It's going to take time though. It is going to take time. It's going to be a big roller coaster. You're going to have your up days. You're going to have your down days. You're going to cry for no reason and not know why you're crying because you stuffed all these feelings. You don't know how to feel your feelings, but you'll learn. You'll learn. And as much as you want to take a drink today, trust me, 23 years from now, you're not going to want to. It won't even cross your mind. You're going to go through some pretty amazing things, some pretty big tragedies. There's going to be a major tragedy on 9/11, 2001, in which uh, one of the biggest acts of terrorism will ever happen. And instead of running to the drink, you're going to run to your group. You're going to run to your people, and you're going to run to the solution, and you're going to run to God. And the same thing's going to happen throughout your life. Your son's going to go through some really major medical stuff, but you have faith. You hold tight. You trust God. You pray and trust that God's going to take care of everything just how God needs to. And here's the thing, understand, nothing makes sense right now. It won't. It won't for a long time, but it will eventually. It will. It will eventually kick in and make sense to you. But right now, just trust. Just put one foot in front of the other. You're going to get to where you need to get. And you're going to, 23 years from now, be celebrating an amazing journey. And everything you went through on this journey was necessary for you to get to where you are today. And life isn't perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than it was. And here's the best thing. You don't do it alone anymore. You're not going to walk this journey alone. You're with others and you're safe and you're home. So just keep trekking, honey. Keep trekking. Have faith. Do what they tell you. Trust God. And you're going to have an amazing life. Congratulations on this new life that you're choosing to lead. Oh, and by the way, 23 years from now, there's going to be a global pandemic and Donald Trump's going to be president. Good luck to you. You'll survive. You won't drink. And in fact, your program's going to get that much stronger because it's these life trials that really help you to grow and become the person that God wants you to be. And with that, happy anniversary. I'll see you next year. Have a happy Monday. Thanks for sharing.